everybody, Killer Solos here. And that's transcription I've been working on of the Eagles' Life in the Fast Lane. Sounds a little stilted, not too perfect, but if you've seen the movie, you know they worked on that song for about 3 months from developing it to recording it. So not going to feel too guilty about the few hours that I have in on it. Anyway, really excited to talk to you today about a composing tool that I've written using the scripting capability of Logic Pro 10. And this thing is called Killer Solos Pitchcaster. What it does is it takes you teach it a performance. It keeps track of all the notes that are played, and then you activate it, and it'll take that performance and keep the dynamics and the note-ons and all the timing and everything, and it'll randomly replace the pitches according to a set of rule from the pitches that were learned during the learning phase. So let's see that in action right now. And I'm going to use Life in the Fast Lane because if you, unless you've been living in a cave or something for the last 30 years, it's really burned into your brain. So it'll be very clear to you what the changes are that get introduced by the program. All right. So we'll mute all these guitars and turn on this guitar and just hear it with the one part for a sec. All right, cool. Okay, so now we've got the track. We're going to go down here to the MIDI effects component of the channel strip, pick the scripter, and Killer Solos Pitchcaster. All right, so it's in learn mode right now, and we're going to feed it the lick. All right. All right. Now we come back here, we switch it to run and set the change to about 40. And what it's going to do is it's going to replace about 40% of the notes, the pitches, with ones randomly chosen from what it learned, which in this case is the lick that we fed it. Let's listen to it. We can actually grab this slider. This is the percentage of notes that are changed. If we slide it down to 0, guess what? Zero percent of the notes are being changed. If we slide it up to 100%, all right, so the idea is that you would replicate that, possibly go into a loop recording thing and record like hundreds of copies of it and just audition each one, try to listen to them all with fresh ears, throw away all the crappy ones, save out the very, very best ones, and take out the bad notes and put in the good notes or whatever, and then take off from there. Do you need to use Life in the Fast Lane as your source? No. Is it one of the greatest songs of all time? Yes. That's it for this part. I'm going to actually go audition some of the stuff. Anyway, the idea is what's musically interesting. You know, is if I listen to it, does it suck, right? Or does it sound good? I would be happy if this thing produced 1%. Like if I did 100 loops and I heard one of them that I liked, that would be a big win. I think it's actually doing way better than that. It's like 5% or something. So, you know, the harder you work on it, the longer you go through, the more stuff you listen to, the more likely you're going to find something that you think is really, really good. And, it's like if you're going to roll a character forever in EverQuest or something, surely you could put some time into finding new improvised licks. Now, another thing that's cool is we could actually play something in instead of playing in the lick. We could play in some totally different lick or play on some totally different scale or whatever we wanted, and just have aspects of the performance that are kept and aspects that are changed. And of course, plug that through additional modules, plug it through another module, whatever it is that you want to do. Now, there is kind of a problem with this technology right now, because it isn't easy to bounce a MIDI track like you can do with an audio track. Like, I'd like to bounce the track and get the MIDI notes. I want the performance captured as a MIDI performance. So there's no real easy way to do that right now in the first iteration of Logic Pro 10. That's pretty common for 1.0 release of something new. I'm going to give Apple the benefit of the doubt there, but definitely would like to see an easier way to do this. Anyway, wasn't very easy. There's a thing called the IAC bus, which kind of weird that it's an acronym anyway, but it's a software MIDI bus that you can enable in audio MIDI preferences and basically send a track to a external instrument, which isn't actually external MIDI, and then bring it back in another track and record that track. This is really going to make it harder for people to use this stuff, but as I said, I expect in a future release they'll do a better job. Make it easier, make it possibly accessible through the environment. The environment, by the way, a lot of people are really intimidated by that, but if you ever had to jack and plug MIDI stuff together, it's really just the same. You just have to kind of get over the shock of it. The one thing that sucks, though, is it's really easy to create MIDI loops and stuff, and the scripting stuff is a little new too, so it's got a certain likelihood at times that you'll crash Logic. Logic is real good about saving the work and everything, but it's one of the risks, again, of using the newer tech. Okay, I've now routed pulled the lick up here to this MIDI channel, which is out to the IAC bus, and up here in like lane, I have the guitar sound, and the input is coming from the bus. And let's take a quick look at it in the environment. So see, the IAC bus 1 here comes down to the I copied from the layer over here, the mixer layer, the lick lane channel, and the output of that goes to the sequencer input. I don't know, I got that off of logicprohelp.com basically, and it works, but it's not like I said, not ideal. Anyway, we're going to record the lick here many times into a take folder, and then I'm going to develop it just into a few bars, just to kind of give you a sense. I heard some good ones there. Did you? All right. Anyway, so I'm going to take a couple of those, see where they take me. All right. Okay. So I went through the take folder, listened to everything, and deleted the stuff that didn't sound real good. And on the other stuff that I liked, I moved notes around, deleted notes, added notes, changed links and things till I got some stuff that I liked, and put together this little piece just in a few hours. So clearly it's demo quality, but I present to you Life in the Bike Lane.